Alright, so welcome back to Dead Cells. So, if it's not immediately obvious, I've done something slightly different. Let's see, it's the same intro. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so let's grab the bow. We've still got the basic sword. Okay, so I've done something a little bit different here. Mainly, I've started over. And I was kind of talking about this the last couple times, so we're actually going to record this process. Just because, I don't know, could be kind of fun. Okay, I guess it really wants me to know about the secondary weapon, the crap bow that you start with. But so I'm gonna be messing around specifically with a cheat table that I've downloaded. And I'm not going to cheat too much. Effectively, I'm going to give myself infinite cells here whenever we have the opportunity to spend cells. So we can get back up to where we were faster. But I'm also going to make it so my skills are, like my stat points, are min-maxed in different directions. So, I've kind of complained about this a number of times when playing this game. But I don't enjoy how you don't really get that much of a choice. Usually you just end up with mostly equal stats. Oh, right. I forgot. I haven't gotten those runes yet. Well, we'll get there later. Yeah, so we can't get to any of these. Well, I'll work on that later. I guess it's kind of nice that we get to see some of these things anyway. Okay. That's... Bip. Trying to get around this guy. Shell's making noises at me, and I'm trying to figure out why. Okay, but yeah... Oh, I'm saying too much. Yeah. Happens. Especially when you're playing like a game that requires some amount of focus. Hey, blueprints. Okay, but yeah, one of my biggest problems with this game is, like, you don't really get to choose your stats. Usually you're just always stuck with, you know, 5 strength, 5 skill, 5 health. With some variation, but for the most part it's generally always the same thing. So I've got a cheat engine table that actually lets me change that. So I can have, whatever stat combo I want. Now, maybe for the first, like, run or two, I'm going to, for the first run or two, I might even, like, turn my stats up to 11, just for, shits and giggles. Apparently I can go all the way up to, I can drag it all the way up to 49. Seems to be the maximum. I don't know if that's actually something I'd care to do. But I'd love to see what happens if you get up to, like, you know, 30 health. Because I think that would be cool. Okay, gotta worry about shield. Jerk. Okay. Am I even... Where am I in this process? Unfortunate part is I have no means of healing here. So I pretty much just have to ace this guy perfectly. Which sucks. And there he goes. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm weak. I'm crappy. We'll make it work. And Captain Chef, not exactly that useful, but still. We got money to go for, but that's fine. Ooh! Oh, really? The Nutcracker is actually a default weapon. Okay. Let's see. Is Shell feeling better? She shrugs. For people that don't know, Shell's been having a bit of a rough weekend. Woke up just feeling sick and whatnot. And for people that doubly don't know Shell, Shell is my fiance. But yeah, she was not feeling good. Okay, so seeing as we've got 2 in skill and 2 in health, let's go for a purist health skill build. Any points in strength, I'm going to raise and lower freely. Okay, so you again recently, so this is the collector, we know about this guy, and interesting. So we have to unlock some of these to unlock the other ones. Okay, this is neat. But yeah, so I've got a limited number of cells here, except for I don't. Let's go with 300. Let's get a little bit cheatsy ridiculous. Okay. So let's talk to him again. And I got infinite cells. So I'm going to max out everything. I could regrind for like all my stuff, but I really don't want to do that. That's boring. We'll have to re-unlock everything, but I'm gonna max out every single blueprint that we have available right now. And then we're going to try and find only the things that I want. So obviously, all of the blueprints that you see here are already unlocked, so I don't have a choice. So the grenade, the torches, the nutcracker, the electric whip, the balanced sword, all these things are by default in the game. But there's a lot of weapons that aren't very good. And so my thoughts are, let's max out everything that we have available to us, with cheats admittedly, but whatever. I don't really have a whole lot of regrets when it comes to these things. But we'll max everything out here, and then we're going to unlock as many blueprints as we want, and only unlock within that group of blueprints that we get. I'm only going to unlock all of the weapons and skills that are actually useful. So, for example, the blueprint at the start, up the left wall, I like the swift bow, but until they fix the ammo system, it's completely useless to me. Whereas the infantry bow is generally always good. So, yeah, I'll probably pick up that blueprint, but it's not a priority because I'm not going to be unlocking it. We're just going to have that sitting around because I want to have a setup here where I only have things that I actually want available. Because I'm so sick of finding the heavy crossbow, for example, when I really don't need the heavy crossbow. The new repeater bow is fun. I'll have to go looking for it. I don't know where to get it. I assume it's in the darkness. But so eventually we're going to have to repeat this process another time later with all of the new blueprints that we find. But eventually, by the time this game is finally out, we're going to have a perfectly pared down blueprint inventory. I don't even know what I'd describe it as, but effectively everything available will only be the stuff that I like, and that way we won't have to deal with the poorly balanced, kind of useless stuff. Let's see, was the hack used the Konami code? No, this is a trainer I downloaded. I could potentially link to the forum thread if people want to get a access to this download as well. I'm sorry this is a little bit on the dull side. It's just necessary so we don't have to think about it again. But yeah, I'm so sick of picking up like bad weapons and just being like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this. Like the flame turret. Honestly, until they make the turrets worthwhile again, I'm probably not gonna have them be available to my list. Okay, and we're just gonna max this out and then break the door down, because I believe I can. I believe I can break the door down to the right, even if we've got cells. So we haven't fully maxed out some of these things. We got to get some more blueprints. Unlock 11 more items for healing potion 4. Well, that's fine. Yeah, oil grenade especially. Until they fix oil grenade, there's no point in me re-unlocking that, because it only does 6 damage per tick. So why have it there? All right, and blood sword 2, I guess. Yeah, I'll go with the blood sword. Oh, you can actually see the HP on the door now. Well, that's cool. Let's see, that's part of the challenge. This is stacking the deck. So, if the game allows for stacking the deck, then I'm gonna stack the deck. I've played 52 episodes now with an unstacked deck, and I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated with the unstacked deck, so we're going to stack the crap out of this deck. For starters, Assassin's Dagger. Absolutely. Because, yeah, there are ways to, like, you know, play this at this point, but I just want to see, like, the weird nonsense stuff I can get into with a truly, like, finely tuned drop rate and whatnot. Ow. So, for example, you know, if my chances of getting assassin's daggers are actually fairly high now, compared to, you know, useless weapons that I'm not going to be using, that would be rather handy. You know, no flame turrets, no ceiling turrets, even the horizontal turret, which I originally owed, you know, much of my life to. Let's see. So yeah, I will pick up the blueprints. I'm just not going to go out of my way for the ones that I don't care about. Okay. Stupid. I hope they change it so it's not a training dummy that's giving everything invulnerability. I'm not really sure why. Because yeah, I would love it. I would absolutely unstack this this deck if the developers make every item viable. The only problem is not every item is currently viable in the game. Some items have terrible balance issues. Some of them simply are broken. Sealed 2 minutes ago. Oh right, we're gonna have to work on that. Whatever. Honestly, I can do all of the speed challenges with cheats. Like, I don't want to cheat too much here. I would actually like to just play the game regularly, for the most part. But for certain things like speed challenges, I might as well just hack up my stats to reasonable levels and just be like, okay, let's just sprint past everything and deal with, like, kidding myself out later. Whoops. Always bugs me that you can't roll through those. You can roll through, like, everything else in this sort of game. I think the fact that it's a dummy is sort of charming. I guess? I'd almost rather have the dummy be the thing with the lightning field and that, like, rune totem be the thing with the, oh, I'm just hitting him with a level 1 weapon here. I forgot about that part. Guess I really should use that grenade. I'll work on that later. Let's get the HP. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I like the dummy enemy. I think it should be something. I'm just not sure if... Honestly, actually... Instead of a dummy enemy, I think it should actually be a, I think it actually should be a dummy skill. How cool would it be if, you had the ability to summon a dummy that, that actually, like, taunts your enemies for you and kills them? Or doesn't kill them. Yeah, that would be amazing, actually. Some way of, like, luring enemies into various locations. Like, you toss the dummy down, and then maybe you set the ground on fire. And maybe it's got, like, a combo field that can work with a lot of things and whatever. I think that would actually be way more interesting than a dummy that just makes nearby enemies invulnerable. Yeah, like the exploding buddy from Isaac. Yeah, absolutely. Because the exploding buddy from Isaac works great. Huh. Oh, is this is where we get the vine rune from you. This guy got so much easier when I learned how to roll through arrows and stuff. There we go. Okay, so we get the vine rune, finally. How about a dummy that grants you a temp shield now then? Nah, not even. I think it would be way more interesting, just period, if all it did was taunt enemies to attack it instead of you. And maybe it explodes when it dies. Actually, let's go back to the, let's go back to my idea of... I mean, this is an old idea, I've floated a lot, but, each item, instead of having, just a passive damage bonus, whenever you, like, one of the problems I have is whenever you kill, or not kill, whenever you level up an item, it just gets a 5% damage bonus. It'd be so much more interesting if the dummy got, like, a, so the first tier dummy, all it does is taunt, and has, like, X amount of HP. Level 2 has a little bit more HP, and maybe can taunt more enemies. Level 3 is a branch. Maybe it can go left or right. And one of the branches actually makes it so it blows up when killed. So, for example, enemies kill the dummy and it explodes, setting everything on fire nearby, or poison gas or something like that. And then the other option would be when it dies, it gives you a temporary shield effect, or just something interesting to roll with. I think that would be so much more fun and interesting than the 5% damage bonus. Another good example would be like the Assassin's Dagger here. It's a really fun weapon, but ultimately, just the 5% damage bonus is like, why even bother? I like it, but it's just boring. And you could have some like really crazy fun things in like some kind of talent tree, and that would make it truly feel like you have control. Because I love games where you can kind of like finely tune your entire experience. And if it ends up being like a little bit unbalanced here and there, that's okay. Just make the game harder in response. I don't know. I always like it when games are just like, you are a crazy murder machine. But also, so is literally everyone else. I've been experiencing... Well, I experienced that in Metro 2033, which was really fun. But that game balanced itself really beautifully, where like it was so high stakes that you as a player could like one-shot almost every enemy. The main issue is almost every enemy could one-shot you in turn, which to me, that's really good game design. It can be a little bit like problematic, but it allowed for me to have like a fun, like, tense experience without becoming overly punishing. I hate games that are like super high stakes for the player, but all the enemies have like bullet sponge tendencies, and it's just like, oh, that's boring. Yeah, I only have one skill here because we haven't found any others. Oh, we should probably heal. Yeah. That's why Hotline Miami is fun. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to say that the developers should exactly do that with this, but the enemies already do, like, crazy amounts of damage. It'd be interesting if, as you get, like, higher in level, they actually scaled it even more. Okay. It is hard killing those guys. Whatever. I mean, it's mainly we just have not found any stat points. Did we... We did... No, we did get 2 stat points from that last area. Okay, so we're not that overpowered. Borderlands suffered from power creep really badly. In terms of... the guns getting too good, or the enemies getting too powerful? Because I always had problems with the Borderlands games. I still do, and it's part of the reason why I don't like playing them that much. It's because, like... Almost every enemy in Borderlands is just a giant, tanky bullet sponge. And it sucks when, like, hitting an enemy in the face is not considered, I guess a critical hit. Well, it's a critical hit, yeah, but it's not like... Usually in FPSs, you shoot an enemy in the face, they die. Or it knocks off their helmet, and then you shoot them in the face one more time. Then they die. Borderlands, it's like, you have to shoot a guy in the face, like, what, 20-something times, give or take? To kill them off, and it's just like, I don't know. I'd really rather just have a game where, like, I can be killed rather easily, my enemies can be killed rather easily, and it's just tense and hard. And if you want to play on an easier difficulty, you just get more HP. And maybe your enemies get a little bit more too. But like, it's why I don't like playing higher difficulties in games a lot, because it usually just means you gotta grind more. Okay, so if you notice, strength just went up to 2. You know what? I'm going to leave it as such for the time being. I might switch it around later. Honestly, I might start doing this for runs in the future where I can, where I will just raise and lower my stat points accordingly. I will never give myself extra stat points. but I may switch it around so I'm like maxed out and stuff like that. But like, what's a good example? I mean, Persona. I've been playing Persona 5 a lot lately. Oops. And Persona 5 is good fun. But ultimately Persona 5 is slow and kind of grindy. And I was like, I don't really want to play on a harder difficulty because that just means I'm going to have to grind more. And that's not something I wanted to do. So I was like, alright. Let's just leave this on the lower difficulty and just have an easier time of it. Had the same thing with the most recent Digimon game. It's like, so the only difference is you spend less time grinding in one versus the other. I think I know which one I want to go with. Gesundheit, shell. Okay, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, Flashbang 4. I'll get the Flashbang. Balance Blade 4. Yeah. Oh, right, we're also dirt poor. Maybe we should have gotten the ice grenade more. Oh, well, that's fine. We go back. But yeah, I just prefer to play games that are, like, on hard mode, it's high stakes. I was actually reading a number of people were talking about Metro and how it actually was easier to play on the absolute hardest difficulty than the regular hardest difficulty. Because they had Ranger mode not, and the thing with Ranger mode is, you know, the enemies weren't tanky or anything like that. Whereas, in Ranger mode, everybody died real quick. In non-Ranger mode, everybody had tons of HP, and that you'd run out of ammo, and it's like, well, that sucks. And I thought that was actually kind of a nice, refreshing way. Oh, an elite shield bearer. That could suck. Gonna fight him anyway. Okay. This kind of sucks. I might die here. So I want to take out the cultists, because they're in the way. Okay, there we go. There's one. Yeah, the problem with the elite shield bearer. Problem with the elite shield bearer is he slams you like way too aggressively. I think I'm just gonna leave him alone. He'd probably kill me if I don't. Okay, well, he'd probably kill me if I tried to actually take him on here. I kind of lost myself in that one. Because yeah, if you could teleport, I'd be screwed. I don't mind fighting the shield bearers when I actually have the abilities for it, but right now I am weak and shitty and going to die. Because, yeah, usually there's like a bit of a cooldown, or not a cooldown, a charge up. I am actually going to die here. There's a bit of a cooldown on cooldown charge up. That's the word I'm going for. Brain distracted by the fact that I'm trying not to die here. Okay, there's a bit of a charge up. And the elite version does not have that, which is a problem. He can teleport to you if you stick to a chain. He only... Oh, there is a shield bearer in there. He can only teleport to you if you've done more than 50% of his maximum health to him. If you do, if you haven't gotten him to that stage, he won't teleport to you, period. But also, like, please don't backseat game as much as you are. I have played this game for quite a lot, and I do not need the level of tips that I'm receiving in the live chat. I actually get a number of YouTube comments, backseat gaming, and I'm like, what? Don't do. But yeah, this is exactly why I'm stacking the deck. Force Shield really isn't that useful. I mean, it can be, probably. And then there's Vampirism, which is extra useless. So we're just going to avoid them and just keep going. Okay. I guess I probably could have used the stun grenade now that I'm thinking about it. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Is it just me, or does he turn around a lot faster than he used to? Yeah, he might. He turns around real fast. Makes the assassin's dagger really hard to work with. The only time you can really get him to... Yeah, it feels like he attacks faster, too. Sometimes. I don't know. This is confusing. I mean, we're fine just because I fought this guy a billion times, so you kind of know the pattern after the nth time. He really needs to be retooled. That dumb shield is just so boring. It's just like the least interesting thing you could give a boss. Might have gotten a buff. I don't think so. I think I'm just weak. Because we had to go through the fog fjord and the ramparts, we are distinctly underpowered compared to what we usually are. Sad part about the ramparts and the fog fjord is they don't give you as good of stuff. There's another weapon that we absolutely do not need. It'd be funny if you took the harder path and it took so long. By the time you got to the boss, he was the complete one instead. Hey! I'd be fine with that. By, like, challenging yourself, you actually get the harder and more interesting thing. Okay, well, I guess we might as well put ourselves into the assassin's dagger. And yeah, we got a time door that I don't think I've... Yeah, we gotta get it in 10 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. I like games that, like, if you challenge yourself the right way, it rewards you for it. Was playing, what was I playing? I was playing, The Surge lately. Which, I mean... I'm not exactly saying The Surge was was pinnacle of gaming. Not even close. It definitely had some, major issues with it. But I really appreciated how, if you kill bosses special ways, you get a cool, like a cool weapon or a full armor set for doing so. I thought that was a really nice way of handling things. Because you don't see a whole lot of games that, like, really go out of their way to be like, oh, you did the hard, like, kind of pointless, silly challenge. Here's an achievement, and also something that actually made it worth it. Most games are just like, you know, they just kind of are like, here's the achievement, congrats, you did it. And it's like, that's, I mean, okay, I guess. I don't just want the pat on the back. I don't want a silver medal or the participation trophy. I want, like, you know, something I can actually work with and use. And hi, Firebrand 6. Yes. I'm very poor. I've noticed they've dramatically raised the prices here, which honestly is not... I don't really like the fact that they raised the prices so much. Part of it is it kind of... Okay, so the way the price raising thing kind of works... Wow, that's actually really good. I'm actually halfway tempted to cheese up my my money, so I've got enough for the ice grenade and the regular grenade. Because boy, would that do a lot of damage.